Hello, everyone. All right, let's dive into Deuteronomy 31:6, a verse that speaks directly to our hearts when we face challenges or fear the unknown. It's powerful, motivational, and comforting all at once. Here's how I would break it down in a way that's engaging and compelling for a casual conversation. Setting the scene. This verse is part of Moses' farewell speech to the Israelites, right before they are about to enter the Promised Land. They've been wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, and now they're standing on the edge of something huge, the land God had promised them. But there's one big problem. They're about to face enemies and overwhelming obstacles in the new land. Moses knows it won't be easy. He's not going to be there to guide them anymore. So he gives them these parting words. Be strong and courageous. It's a charge to step out in faith, knowing that God is with them. But it's also an assurance, a reminder that the success of their journey depends on God's presence, not their own strength. Be strong and courageous. Let's start with the command itself. Be strong and courageous. How often do we need to hear that in our own lives? Whether it's facing a tough challenge at work, stepping into a new season, or confronting fear, those words, be strong and courageous, can be a lifeline. But here's the thing. It's not just about mustering up strength on our own. God isn't just telling them to try harder. It's about relying on Him in the midst of fear and uncertainty. Strength and courage don't come from us trying to act tough. They come from knowing that we're not alone. Do not fear or be in dread of them. Next, we get a command to not fear. But this is more than just, don't be scared. It's addressing the deep-rooted fear we sometimes face when we're up against something bigger than ourselves. The Israelites were about to face giants, literal and figurative. The land they were entering was inhabited by powerful enemies. They could have easily been overwhelmed by fear. After all, they were just a group of ex-slaves and wanderers. But Moses is telling them, don't let the fear of what's in front of you control you. And let's be honest, we can all relate to this. How many times have we let fear control our decisions or our confidence? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. It can be paralyzing. But Moses is saying, don't let that fear define you. Don't dread what's ahead, because God has already gone before you. For it is the Lord your God who goes with you. This is the game changer. It's not just about mustering up strength and courage on your own. The reason the Israelites and we don't have to fear is because God goes with us. It's not just that He's watching from a distance or waiting for us to succeed. He's walking alongside us in every battle, every challenge, every unknown territory. This part of the verse is like God saying, I'm not sending you into this on your own. I'm with you. You don't have to face this alone. That's powerful. Imagine trying to climb a mountain, but with a skilled guide by your side, showing you the path, keeping you safe, encouraging you to keep going. That's what God does for us. He will not leave you or forsake you. Now here's the heart of the verse. This promise is one of the most reassuring in the entire Bible. God will never leave you, and He will never forsake you. That means, no matter how alone you might feel in a struggle, no matter how abandoned or rejected you might think you are, God promises that He will always be with you. This is a huge comfort, especially when life feels uncertain or you're in the middle of a tough situation. The Israelites had been through a lot, and they were about to face even more. But God's presence with them was their ultimate assurance. This isn't a promise of an easy road, but it's a promise that God will be there through it all. It's like having a trusted friend who's always there for you, no matter what happens. You don't have to face the challenges of life in isolation. Why this verse is so relatable today. Okay, so why is this verse still so relevant for us today? We might not be facing literal giants or enemies in a foreign land, but we all face struggles, big and small. Whether it's stepping out in faith in a new season of life, dealing with fear of failure, or walking through personal hardships, we can feel overwhelmed. And just like the Israelites, we might be tempted to let fear take over. But the same God who is with them is with us. His promises are still true today. So, when we hear the command to be strong and courageous, it's not about us doing it in our own power. It's about leaning into God's strength, trusting that He's already walking with us. How we can apply it today. When we face fear, whether it's a difficult conversation, a new challenge, or just the fear of what might happen next, we can remember this verse. It's a reminder that God is with us, that He won't leave us, and that we don't have to be paralyzed by fear. But it's not just about believing this in the moment. It's about living with the confidence that we're never alone. It's about trusting God, knowing that He will provide strength when we don't have enough of our own. Maybe you faced something in life where you thought, there's no way I can get through this on my own. But then you made it through, right? Maybe not unscathed, but stronger, more confident, with a deeper trust in God. That's how God's faithfulness shows up. His presence is like a constant companion, quiet, faithful, guiding us through the toughest times. Thoughts. Takeaway. So, what's the bottom line here? Deuteronomy 31:6 is a challenge and a promise. It calls us to be strong and courageous, not because we have the strength in ourselves, but because we have God with us. We don't need to fear because He will never leave us or forsake us. Whatever you're facing, whether it's a big step, a difficult situation, or the unknown, remember that God is right there beside you. And that makes all the difference. Thank you today. God bless you.